Alright, welcome everyone. On your screen you will see the current regard. These are the regard ratings for each companion, alright? So at the end of the episode we will take a look and compare the regard with how it was in the start. So you get an idea of where we are with each companion, alright? So we spoke to the Warden last week and he asked us to help the people of the island, right? If you look at the map, these are a small map and we have, I think, multiple villages. We need to go to these villages and help them, essentially. So we'll do that. But let's talk to our companions and see if they have anything to say. Let's talk to Sir Ronald of the Thorn.
Still here, my liege.
Something on your mind?
Forgive the irrelevancy of this, but I must know. Have you taken notice of the lawlessness that dwells here? There is no order to be found in these villages, no doctrine or code they collectively pledge themselves to. It is irreverent, barbaric, shameful. I fear the same will become of Tamriel, should good men stand idle while evil creeps about unchallenged.
We have only visited one or maybe two villages. It's too soon to judge these people, Sir Ronald. They seem to be managing well enough.
Do they? Daedric kill by the hundreds. Formidable monstrosities run rampant from the soil to the sky, and a curse of restraint keeps residents from desertion. That is not the way the Divines desired their people to live.
So the Daedra are descending here in droves and slaughtering people. That's not their fault, is it?
If men do not punish foul deeds through law and justice, then the Divines will leave them to the mercy of the Daedra. It is no wonder these people suffer. They have forsaken their gods and bolstered generations of sin.
Must every sin be punished? Surely some can be forgiven.
Crimes forgiven are crimes recurred. I'll admit the punishment for every ill deed need not be the same. A murderer should not serve the same sentence as a thief, but that does not excuse the thief from penalty.
I think this guy needs to chill a bit. I hope you'll consider adopting a less radical ideology. Yeah, Elara would choose this option. And it's too soon. I think he's making judgments too soon, right?
It is only dangerous to those who oppose justice.
Uh-oh, decrease by one.
For those who live in the light of the Divines, it carries no peril.
Do you plan on restoring justice to this island?
In what ways I can. I am but one knight in a sea of criminality. Some sins I must overlook while I am under pledge, such as those prevalent within our company. But I stand ready to purify those of which I have no binding arrangement. For the honor of the Thorn, and the memory of my father.
Okay, tell me about your father.
Yes, or so I expect. I have only faint memories of him, but I know he believed in the principles of the Thorn, and all that our order could be. So long as I cling firmly to his beliefs, and stray not from the path of righteousness, I stand a chance to make him proud. That is enough for me.
Ooh, so this starts his quest. Wait to speak with Ronald again. Okay, so we've spoken to him. Let's talk to...
Something you wish to say?
Let's talk to Tasius. Do you know of anyone else who escaped the island?
No, but I know of one who may have been close. Whether or not he remembers, well, that much is less certain.
Who is he?
Someone who was obsessed with the idea of fleeing. Right up to the point that Dagon's minions caught him, at least. His mind has been disturbed ever since.
They didn't kill him?
I guess they didn't deem it cruel enough. He remains secluded in his cabin, untouched by Dagon's forces.
Was that his method of escape?
It was unique, to say the least. But if the Daedra felt the need to impair his sanity, he may have been onto something. He planned to form a defense of the island that would counter Dagon's reaping, but he knew ordinary equipment wouldn't do the trick. He needed materials that would withstand the full wrath of the Daedra.
What materials?
A wide assortment, gathered from some of the island's deadliest creatures. How he intended to use them is anyone's guess, but perhaps there is something in his cavern that could answer that question. It might be worth a look.
Cool, we got a quest. A miscellaneous task entry. Find information on how to counter the reaping. Better go here. Okay. Alright, we'll do that.
I've got your back.
Something on your mind?
The others tell me you've been experiencing some unnerving dreams as of late. I think I might know why.
Okay.
What many seem to forget is that this island didn't always fall under the authority of Mehrunes Dagon. Before his takeover, this land was governed by the Daedric lady Vermina.
Ooh.
I theorize that some of the lady's power still remains, and she's using it to contact you.
Vermina. Wow. Why?
I can only speculate, but I highly recommend speaking with her. I understand these visions are kind of random, but I might be able to change that.
Really?
Legends speak of a potion that forces the user into a torpor, a state of mental inactivity needed for dreams like these to work. It will be like sending out an invitation directly to Vermina.
Okay, do you have a potion?
Not at the moment, but I have a few ideas on how I may obtain it. I'll speak with you again once I have one.
Okay.
Farewell.
We got Tasius' quest, okay? Alright, you.
Something on your mind? Forgive me if this isn't the place to ask, but what's it like? Being a hero, I mean. Is it every bit as magnificent as the legends make it out to be?
Ooh, so many choices. I'm hoping to retire. The people of Skyrim don't deserve my greatness. Okay, now that you're Dragonborn too, I hope to pawn off my responsibilities. It's not what you think. Most people don't even recognize me as the savior. Exactly. It's all honor and glory. I never asked for it. I'd rather be normal. Means having abundance and benches in skooma and partying like 2E999. 2E99. Second era. Really, second era was awesome for partying. Elara is a simple farm lady, you know. She wants to go back to High Rock and live with her aunts, you know, in their farm. So, yeah, she never asked for it, and she'd rather be normal.
What? Do you realize what that would bring?
Iriel's regard decreased.
Without the power you were gifted, the world itself could cease to exist. Everything worth protecting would be lost forever. How can you be so indifferent?
So that got Iriel's regard to decrease? Oh well, what can you do? It is what it is. That is Elara's nature, right? What do you ask?
If you
Why
haven't
do you ask?
already guessed, I want to be like you one day. To have such limitless power at the forefront of my tongue, there'd be no end to the good deeds I could achieve. Tyrants would concede their sovereignty, dragons would fall at my feet, and the people I care about would never know danger.
Wow, she's power hungry. What's stopping you? Why not commit evil deeds instead? Nobility is trivial, okay? This is good role playing. I like this role playing dialogue options. Yeah, that's a wise thing to say. Pursuit of power isn't a virtuous plight. Let's go with that.
Surely it's better than being passive in a world that preys on weakness. To stand up to evil, we must be stronger than it. You of all people should know that.
What's stopping you then?
Well, my limited arsenal of shouts is one thing, and my inexperience in dragon slaying another. But those should be easy hurdles to overcome, right?
If you're so ambitious, I hope you succeed.
And it's in no short supplies of evildoers, outlaws, or monsters. I shudder to imagine a Nirn without people like us to put them in check. Oh, it's nothing like that. I was just thinking about what's left for me when this is all over. Once we found our parents and returned to solitude, I'd like to stay in Skyrim for a while, as a student of yours, if you'd have me. We could be the dynamic duo of dragon slaying.
Alright, let's focus on getting off the island first.
Fair enough. But maybe you could answer something else for me first.
Uh-huh. Sure.
I'm trying to become more proficient with my Thuum, but one thing keeps holding me back. How do we learn additional shouts? I've had the same 2 variations since birth.
We absorb knowledge of the voice through the souls of dragons.
Directly from their souls? That explains why I haven't made any notable progress.
You know your shouts from birth?
Of course. Isn't that what being Dragonborn means? Why, are you saying you didn't come into the world with this ability?
Nope. We had to slay a dragon near Whiterun.
Really? Huh. Maybe that means my powers are superior.
Yeah. Some ego massaging there. Right. How many dragons have you killed again? Yeah, let's play with her.
No fair. It's not my fault I wasn't in Skyrim for the zenith of the dragon crisis. I have yet to see one of those creatures up close. Or at all, for that matter.
Okay, excuse.
Alright, Miss Right Time, Right Place. If we ever make it out of here, I'll challenge you to a dragon killing contest. Loser has to surrender half the gold in their coffers.
Aren't you broke?
Oh, sorry. All I hear are excuses.
Alright.
Ha! You'd better start refining your skills. Being outperformed by your baby sister isn't something I'd let you live down. Of course, this is all for naught if we don't find a way home first.
Don't you still want to find our parents?
That's what I meant by home. Do you still want to?
Yeah, might as well. We have come this far after all. Yeah. She's still not sure if parents are her parents, right? So we might as well find out.
Good to hear.
Oh, increased by 1.
I know this trip hasn't exactly gone to plan, but as long as we stick to our primary goal, I'm certain we'll reach it eventually.
Okay, good. Oh, that starts her quest. Last Dragonborn. Alright. Bloody awesome. So, when I spoke to Iriel, regard went down by 1 when Elara said she wants to be a simple person. Now, it went up again by 1 when she said she would like to meet her parents. Ultimately, the regard stays the same. But Sir Ronald, it's -1. Alright, so we have 3 quests. Iriel, the last Dragonborn, Tasius, Prison of the Mind, and Ronald. So we need to wait for them. But let's deal with that Oblivion Gate, shall we? Let's get those Daedra and banish them to Oblivion. Imp?
That was
match.
unexpected.
Oh wow. Hack on one eye. Nice to see you, sir. Alright, let's see what we have here. Let's get the Daedra hearts. A nymph. Wow, in Skyrim for the first time. Never seen a nymph. Alright, I think we'll go back to the ship and we'll swap companions. And next morning we will head out with 3 other companions. Alright. It's a new day. Let's head out, and this time let's choose Katri. Okay, companion number 2 is Tia, and 3 is Haden. Right? Alright, new party. Look at that. I love it. You can change, mix and match. Pretty cool, right? Alright, what do we do now? We can't do these quests right now, right? We'll have to come back. Let's check with the inhabitants of the island, right? Let's do that. They do jump. It's hilarious. Alright, let's go this side. We've been to this area of the island. We haven't been this side, so I think makes sense. And we should also check up with these guys if they have anything to say, right? So let's go to a nice spot. Oh, early morning swim? Why not? It's beautiful. Tropical paradise. Elara, please pray to Magnus. It's a new day. Elara has finished praying. And now let's chat. Let's chat with Tia first.
Something you need?
Something on your mind?
Okay, so I think I've established the characters for my novel. I know you're supposed to write a little yourself into the work, so I've made myself the beautiful princess trapped in a lonely tower by her strict and unstable father. I even made you a character too. I hope you don't mind. Anyway, the plot follows our princess as she wishes upon a dying star, asking the divines to cure the ailment of her dying sister. When, all of a sudden, a handsome knight comes riding to meet her.
And the knight is my character, assume.
What? No, you're the lovably quirky yet undeniably clumsy chambermaid.
I called dibs on the first negative review. Do people review stuff in the world of Tamriel? Why a chambermaid?
She wasn't always a maid. Back before her accident, she was a legendary sailor and a treasure hunter. The entire kingdom knew of and adored her adventures.
Her accident?
Oh, right. Forgot to mention her backstory.
Huh?
She nearly drowned at sea before being rescued by her crew. And ever since then, she's been terrified of the open sea.
Okay.
Right. So, the knight informs our princess that a cure exists for her sister's rare disease. But it rests on an island riddled with pirates and cannibals. The king forbids our princess to go. But she sneaks out anyway, with the help of the chambermaid, and plans to sail off and find the cure and... well, that's all there is at this point. I know it's not much, but what do you think?
Wow. Pretty cool. Good start. Chambermaid set sail if she's still terrified of the sea. Yeah, let's get into all that later. I think it's a good start.
Thanks. The coast out here works
regard increased by 1.
for inspiration. I think I'll have more ready sooner than expected.
Okay, that increased her regard, and we have a quest. Nice. And what kind of equipment do you use?
Oh, what do I get?
So she uses bows, daggers, and light armor. She has an elven bow. Okay. I guess we could give her this glass bow of deadly fire. Yeah, of course. She can take that. Alright.
Uh-huh.
Next, Haden. What's up with you?
There's something ahead?
Oh, why
Of
are
course.
you... Okay.
At your service.
Something on your mind?
Yeah, this splitting headache. Feels like the world is running laps around me.
Any idea what caused it?
Could be a combination of dehydration and booze, but I have a feeling it's something else.
Uh-huh.
I get these nightmares every once in a while. Visions of trauma now long past. The headaches usually follow.
What are they about?
Rather not say. It's nothing personal, it's just that, ever since I left the sweet roll alone with my 3 best friends and returned to an empty plate, I've had trust issues.
Sweet roll. A tragedy as old as time. I'm sorry for your loss.
I just never thought I'd be backstabbed by my own soldiers like that. I trusted them, you know? Well, never again will I be taken for such a fool. Worst part is, I never figured out who did it. Was it an organized heist, or had one of them been operating alone? I'm afraid I'll never know.
You were one of the sane ones. Okay. Is there anything else I can do to ease the headache? Let me know.
Actually, I could use some help. Not with the headaches, though. I've more or less accepted those as a certainty. It's with something else.
What is it?
I may or may not have promised the locals I'd kill an outcast for them. Truth is, I don't remember all too well. That night was wild.
What? You're partying with the locals? What a crazy guy.
For the record, they call it a festivity here. If you ever find yourself at one, take my advice. The rum is not to be underestimated. Just after it graced my lips, I was chanting the age of aggression in my undergarments on the roof of a bamboo hut.
Huh. Sounds like an eventful night.
Oh, it was. The parts I remember, at least.
What did this outcast do to deserve death?
Something about murder, I think. Or was it seashell laundering? Honestly, I haven't the faintest memory. It doesn't matter. If I make a promise, I see it through. That's just how it is.
Right, he said seashell laundering, so it's money laundering. So seashells are currency used here, right? Not septims, of course. Very well, I trust you have your reasons.
I hadn't expected you to understand. Not many do. On a ship where I'm surrounded by preaching knights and pretentious vigilance, it's nice to not feel judged for once.
She's right here.
You might very well spare me from insanity one day. I'll mark it down on your map. No rush, of course. I'm sure our target isn't going anywhere.
Okay, that starts his quest. Nice.
Greetings.
Oh, he has another line of dialogue. You said you'd get us to our destination in one piece.
As I will. Think of this as the scenic route, with a brief interval of a tropical resort at no additional cost. After a little sawdust and nails, we'll be off to find your parents again, as promised.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know what kind of a map we were using to navigate, but it failed to account for massive plots of land. The path ahead was supposed to be clear, so I stepped away for a quick meat break. And what do I come back to? Raging waters, heavy rain, and an island that fell out of the sky.
Oh, that must be crazy. Are you drinking?
That's what you got out of it? Even sober, I wouldn't have been able to steer away in time.
Great, we crashed it because you were piloting drunk. You put us all in danger. Whoever made the map should lose their job. Yeah, let's go with him.
You're telling me.
Hey, increase by
Let's
2.
say I'll be writing a very strongly worded letter to the half-wits who charted out these waters.
Yeah, let's teach that map company. Huh? Increase by 2, that's crazy. Just because we went with that? That's insane. Alright.
Farewell.
Alright, next, Katri.
Good morning, Dover. Searching for something?
Something on your mind?
Oh, it's nothing. I just... Something about this place reminds me of home.
You lived on an island?
It's not important. We should remain focused on the here and now.
We have all the time in the world. We're stuck here. Speak your mind.
Well, I suppose little harm could come of it. I was raised on a coastline with a similar complexion. I'd almost forgotten how thunderously the ocean crashes against rock and seaboard. Or how statically melodic the chirps of seagulls are. Or the brisk, cool wind, and how gently it brushes against one's skin as they stare placidly into an infinite blue abyss.
Beautiful. Beautiful writing. Some people pay for an experience like this. Exactly. We go to beach resorts, right? To experience something like this. Okay, I wouldn't know. This is my first time in the tropics. Okay. On the profanities, Daedra scream off in the distance. Ah, good times. Yeah, but Elara has always been in mountainous regions. Yeah, this is the first time in the tropics.
Well, don't get your hopes up. Half-deserted peninsulas on the border of High Rock are all the same. This environment brings back a lot of memories, most of which I'd rather soon forget.
Some people pay for an experience like this.
None of them grew up in such a place. The glamour associated with the tropics was penned by excursionists, not natives.
Point.
This environment brings back a lot of memories, most of which I'd rather soon forget.
Any good memories?
I'm afraid the good ones are so deeply intertwined with the bad that they've become corrupted as well. How difficult it is to recall a moment of bliss without also remembering the way it was stolen away.
Good things never last. That's why we appreciate them. Surely there must be something you remember fondly. Yeah, something you remember fondly, right? Yeah.
Well, now that you mention it, there is one event from my childhood I can look back on with contentment. Don't suppose you'd be open to hearing it?
Is this going to be boring? It sounds like it's going to be boring. I'm all ears. As I said before, I've got time. Yeah, I'm all ears.
Well, on the beach where I grew up, there was a sectioned off portion where the wealthy individuals and their children would swim. My friend and I, we used to fish off a distant dirt cliff just beside it. One day, she caught this monster of a fish. Took the two of us half an hour to drag the thing up. When we finally managed it, we saw the teeth, rows upon rows of them. Didn't know it at the time, but we were standing face to face with a fully grown slaughterfish.
What happened next?
She freaks out and screams, and this fish just starts squirming erratically, like a Thalmor Justicia observing Talos worship. It manages to get away from us, throwing itself from the cliff's edge and hitting every rock shelf on the way down. So there it falls, just off the shore where the wealthy is swimming. For a moment, we thought it was dead. Then, without warning, it starts wriggling towards them. So, naturally, my friend starts trying to reason with it, right? She calls out, "No, not that way, you live over here." But of course, it's down there just tossing her advice to the wind. I suggest warning the nobles, but we both know they're not going to listen to a couple of peasant children.
Huh?
There's a brief spell of silence, a single screech, and all-out chaos. They see it and emit screams louder than a banshee passing a series of kidney stones. I'd never tried so hard to conceal my laughter before or any day since.
Wow, she laughs. What happened to your friend of yours?
Decades later, I took an interest in magic and inducted her as my apprentice. From then on, we became more than just friends. Then she... I'm sorry, I've rambled long enough. We've got better things to do.
What? She didn't complete the story? What happened to her friend? Oh well. Okay. So we've got 3 more quests, right? What's that? Katri, staying vigilant. Haden, a night to forget. Okay. And Tia, happily ever after. Alright. So we see a settlement here. Let's go see what that is. Looks like a bandit camp, not a settlement, right?
Got a manacle dragon slayer. What do you have? All over already!
I got one!
Begging for a Gonna die for that.
All right, well done. Well done, team, man. Nice to see you, Mr. Hack on One Eye. He goes back to Sovngarde. Oh, these guys are just some bandits, you know. Heavy armor. Who needs heavy armor? You?
Afternoon.
Let's see.
Alright, what have you got?
So you use light armor, swords and bows, right? You have a lucky sword. Okay. And he needs a good bow.
Until
Okay.
next time then.
And you?
State your business.
What did you have in mind?
So you use maces, bows and light armor. Right? If you find a better light armor, we shall give her, and she uses a crossbow. Nice. What do we have here? Circlet of experience. Okay. Common soul gem. Woven armor. Alright. I guess we could give this to Iriel. She would appreciate it because she wears heavy armor, right? Currently she has steel heavy armor. Before we go to the settlement, shall we see what is here? Yeah, let's explore a bit. Wow, is that a dragon bone or a whale bone? Let's explore the ship. I think we'll have more bandits to clear. Just the two of them?
You start running so I can stab you in the back.
Anybody else? What a wreckage, huh? What a place to make your home. Oh, guys. Anyway, who are these? These guys were heavy armored. They have an elven dagger, war axe, and a Nordic carved armor. Wow. This is better than the dwarven armor, right? 40. Oh, yeah, definitely. So, Iriel will like the Nordic carved armor. Much better than the dwarven armor. And it weighs less. Village outcast, he's going to attack, right? Where are you going, sir? Where are you going?
Could you at least pretend?
A bite of a flea.
This one's injured.
It's nothing.
Let's go. Master Vampire? Volkihar. So clan Volkihar, huh?
You're tougher than you look.
Yeah, yes, get them. Huh.
Fall
Pretend
to
to
me.
die or something so
Easy.
we can move on.
Alright, shall we call it a day? I think this is a good time to end it, and next episode we can start talking to the inhabitants of the island, right?
Forgive the irrelevancy of this, but I must know. Have you taken notice of the lawlessness that dwells here? There is no order to be found in these villages. No doctrine or code they collectively pledge themselves to. It is irreverent, barbaric, shameful. I fear the same will become of Tamriel, should good men stand idle while evil creeps about unchallenged.
Right, so now if we just agree with Sir Ronald of the Thorn, let's see if we have any additional dialogue options, okay? Last time we chose this option. Now we'll say, yeah, this place is primal.
Daedric kill by the hundreds. Formidable monstrosities run rampant from the soil to the sky, and a curse of restraint keeps residents from desertion. That is not the way the Divines desired their people to live.
Right, last time we asked him to consider a less radical ideology. Now let's agree with him, right?
I wondered if the legendary Dragon
see, different dialogue.
It warms my heart to know that, in a world gone mad, people unbound by oath still dare to denounce corruption.
Okay.
In what ways I can. Some sins I must overlook while I am under pledge, such as those prevalent within our company. But I stand ready to purify those of which I have no binding arrangement. That is enough for me.
Okay. Let's take a look at Iriel.
Forgive me if this isn't the... Is it every bit as magnificent as the legends make it out to be?
So last time Elara said, I never asked for it, I'd rather be normal, right? What if we are passive? Most people don't even recognize me as a savior.
Really? I find that surprising. Especially given the current state of affairs in the world today. You'd think they'd be more grateful. If you haven't already guessed, I want to be like you one day. To have such limitless power at the forefront of my tongue. There'd be no end to the good deeds I could achieve. Of course, this is all... That's what I meant by home. Do you still want to?
Right, so here we have an option. When she asks us if we want to actually visit our parents, let's just say, after we fix the boat, I'm going straight to Skyrim.
Oh,
That decreases her
I-
regard.
guess at some point we'll have to part ways then. I'll be sure to tell them about you.
Oh, I could sense the emotion in her voice. That's amazing. Okay, what do you tell them?
That you've brought a lot of good into this world. If tales of your adventures are even the least bit credible. And, perhaps more importantly, that they should be proud.
Wow. Great voice acting, right? I mean, you can sense the difference between how she reacted when the earlier choice and how she reacted now. Fantastic. And also, great writing. You have lots of roleplay options. If you're playing as a crazy character, you still have an option to say that. That's about the two branches in this episode that affected our regard a bit. Alright, so Elara and the gang will pitch tent here and have a good night under the skies, and they hope it won't rain. Elara, Haden, Tia, and Vigilant Katri, we'll see you guys next week.